Nice to go through an article today by a Western woman author, Maria Menz. And the surprise was because as the Western media always portrays it gives an impression that the women in the Eastern world are much more subdued by men, or they are always groomed to to remain subservient to men all their life. But having read this article, I feel that the situation in the Western world is not much different. And this article is become more authentic because it's written by a lady. So I'm going to share with you today. The article was titled "The Power Men Have Over Women." She says the power the men have over women is that they wear neckties, use shaving cream, and are usually bigger than we are. They are not necessarily brighter, but they usually have us where they want us, like a man with a dog. What a simile. She says the dog sits at the feet of the man, waiting for just three things: a look, a touch, and a word. He wants these more than a bowl of food. He will do anything for them. Now, the dog is no more a slave than we women are. She says, like some of us, he can be very independent indeed, leaving home for the day to chase rats or rabbits, quite able to feed himself and to survive the rough and tumble world outside. But his disposition, like ours, his well being, his sense of security, it still depends on the look in the eye, the touch of the hand, and the sound of the voice of the man. He returns to at night. But the silly male fool is often unaware of how much a look, a touch, a word can hold for a woman. Nor does he seem to have any idea at all of the degree to which their absence can make her cross, resentful, tiresome. It's a simple, candid admission by Maria. She says, let's take the eyes first. Why should I look at you? The husband says, there isn't anything. I don't know about you. There is nothing to look at. He does not mean it unkindly. You live with a woman or a picture for 10 years or more, and often do you look? How often you do look? Really look at the woman or at the picture. Yet the female is starved for more recognition. The direct glance that says, I know you. I know who you are. I know you are there. This kind of concerns. If you want to know what tragedy is and the death of love, look at the countless married couples sitting in public places, their eyes never meeting. You can by first glance say they are husband and wife. There is just no verbal or the body communication. They are just there together. That's it. Not because the woman does not look at the man. She searches, hoping against reality, but because the man does not look at her, eats it alone. encased in a plastic bag of indifference. It is clearly easier for a man to look at something that is beautiful and new and exciting than at something that is familiar and possibly fading. But he forgets that the familiarity and fading are part of his doing, and the woman is invested with beauty and excitement by his attention. We bloom under it, we die without it, she says. What a beautiful, truthful, and a candid confession, I would say. She goes on to say, now for the hands. A woman who's not touched may exist as a person, but certainly not as a woman. How sensitive. It is the exceptional man who, after 15 years of marriage and a long day in the office, can lunge at his wife and cover her with passionate kisses. She says it is simply unimaginable these days. No woman, even the most spirited, are much humble than that. An occasional hand placed fondly on the shoulder, an arm in the arm, a brief kiss on the cheek, things like these make us so happy that we wonder why some men forget them. How some men or men can afford to ignore this or just don't remember. If they are not enjoying, at least they do it for their wife. Are there really much more trouble and effort required in these simple things? These things don't cost money either. She says that, ladies, the woman, the wife, we are lovable if we are loved. And part of loving is touching, of course. She says we need words too. Not only the comfortable exchange of thoughts and gossip, cozy and welcome as that is, but once in a while, words that are beam, uh, uh, be, directly, beam there directly to the lady. She said directly to us. Gentlemen, you have heard it before, and you shall hear it again when we wear a new dress and you notice it, say something. One phrase will do. Nice color, or not bad, or wow, or good, you look smart, anything, but say something. And if you don't say anything, she says, we count it as a simple, utmost failure. You don't know what power this silence has. Nothing at all would make them happy. A simple one word of praise. The word that makes a woman walk more proudly and more gaily. It is the appreciation from the husband. And it's like a verbal pat. Wise men know this. The men who are wise, they must know what power this too can exert on a woman. Make her laugh, my friend, she says, as many times you can possibly do, and you would be you simply will make her helpless. Women are far more likely to be enslaved on a long-term basis by homely a man who is funny than by Adonis who isn't. She says, in fact, the higher the sights of the woman, the freer is her intelligence. The more she values the intelligence in man. The strong, silent man is powerless because the willy, attractive man is more dearer to every woman. All the powers of men over women, they emanate from one premise, and it's nothing but caring. If men don't care, they don't look, they don't touch, or they don't speak, then she says, Maria says, then they shouldn't be living with us in any way. What is this kind of living? Inanimate living, she says. She says, we are bred, unfortunately, Western world women, just imagine, we are thinking it is happening in the Eastern world only. She says, we are in a Western world, we are bred to care for what he thinks. We are bred to care what he feels and what he needs more than he is for what he thinks or feels a need. This, unfortunately, she says, remains true even now in 21st century in such a technologically advanced age also. With despite all these talks of equality and emancipation, this is the psyche of the men or the today's world, of the men, of the people, whether Eastern or the Western world. It is the kind of the power the men have over the woman. It is traditionally uh, incepted into the minds of women. And unless they are psychologically free from this, there seems to be no end to it. Thank you very much.